third graders. So I'm here with chapter 19 of Winn, Dixie. When we left off, Opal was just taking a litmus lozenge to Otis. And when he ate it, she said, "Do you like it?" I asked him. He nodded his head and he said, "It tastes good, but also tastes a little bit like being in jail." Gertrude squawked. She picked up the litmus lozenge wrapper in her beak and then dropped it and looked around. "Gertrude!" she screamed again. "You can't have any," I told her. "It's not for birds." Then real quick, before I lost my nerve, I said, "Otis, what were you in jail for? Are you a murderer?" "No, ma'am," he said. "Are you a burglar?" "No, ma'am," Otis said again. He sucked on his candy and stared down at his pointy-toed boots. "You don't have to tell me," I said. "I was just wondering." "I ain't a dangerous man," Otis said, "if that's what you're thinking. I'm lonely, but I'm not dangerous." "Okay," I said, and I went to the back and got my broom. When I came back out, Otis was standing right where I left him, staring down at his feet. "It was on account of the music," he said. "What was?" I asked. "Why I went to jail. It was on account of the music." "What happened?" "I wouldn't stop playing my guitar. Used to be I played it on the street, and sometimes people would give me money. I didn't do it for the money. I did it because the music was better if somebody was listening to it. Anyway, the police came, and they told me to stop it. They said I was breaking the law, and the whole time they were talking to me, I went right on playing my music. And that made them mad. They tried to put handcuffs on me. I didn't like that. I wouldn't have been able to play my guitar with those things on." "And then what happened?" I asked him. "I hit them," he whispered. "You hit the police?" "Mm-hmm. One of them. I knocked him out, and then I went to jail, and they locked me up and wouldn't let me have my guitar. And when they finally let me out, they made me promise I would never play my guitar on the street again." He looked up at me real quick and then back down at his boots. "And I don't. I only play it in here for the animals. Gertrude, the human Gertrude, who owns this shop, she gave me this job when she read about me in the newspaper. She said it's all right for me to play music for the animals." "You play your music for me and Winn Dixie and Sweetie Pie," I said. "Yeah," he agreed, "but you ain't on the street." "Thank you for telling me this, Otis," I said. "It's all right," he said. "I don't mind." Sweetie Pie came in, and I gave her a litmus lozenge. She spit it out right away. She said it tastes bad. She said it tastes like not having a dog. I swept the floor real slow that day. I wanted to keep Otis company. I didn't want him to be lonely. Sometimes it seemed like everybody in the world was lonely. I thought about my mama. Thinking about her was the same as the hole you keep on feeling with your tongue after you lose a tooth. Time after time, my mind kept going back to the empty spot, the spot where I felt like she should be. Should we go on? Chapter 20. When I told Gloria Dump about Otis and how he got arrested, she laughed so hard she had to grab a hold of her false teeth so they wouldn't fall out of her mouth. "Woo-wee," she said finally when she was done laughing. "That sure is some dangerous criminal." "He's a lonely man," I told her. "He just wants to play music for somebody." Gloria wiped her eyes with the hem of her dress. I know it, sugar, she said, but sometimes things are so sad, they just get funny. You know what else, I said, still thinking about sad things. That girl you told me about, that I told you about, the pinch-faced one, Amanda. Well, her brother drowned last year. He was only 5 years old, the same age as Sweetie Pie Thomas. Gloria stopped smiling. She nodded her head. I remember hearing about that, she said. I remember hearing about that drowned little boy. That's why Amanda's so pinch-faced, I said. She misses her brother. Most likely, Gloria agreed. Do you think everybody misses somebody? Like I miss my mama? Mm-hmm, said Gloria. She closed her eyes. I believe sometimes that the whole world has an aching heart. I couldn't stand to think about sad things that couldn't be helped anymore. So I said, do you want to hear some more Gone with the Wind? Yes, indeed, said Gloria. I've been looking forward to it all day. Let's see what Miss Scarlet is up to today. I opened up Gone with the Wind and started to read, but the whole time I was thinking about Otis, worrying about him not being allowed to play his guitar for people. In the book, Scarlet was looking forward to going to a big barbecue where there was going to be music and food. And that is how I got the idea. That's what we need to do, I said. I slammed the book shut. Winn Dixie's head shot up from underneath Gloria's chair. He looked around all nervous like. Huh? Said Gloria Dump. Have a party, I told her. We need to have a party and invite Miss Franny Block and the preacher and Otis can play his guitar for everybody. Sweetie Pie can come too. She listens to his music real good. We? Who? Gloria asked. We, me and you. We can make some food and have a party right here in your yard. Said Gloria Dump. We can make peanut butter sandwiches and cut them up into triangles and make them look all fancy. Lord, said Gloria Dump, I don't know if the whole world likes peanut butter as much as you do and this dog. Okay, I said. Well, we could make egg salad sandwiches. Adults like those. You know how to make egg salad? No, ma'am, I said. I don't have a mama around to teach me things like that. But I bet you know. I bet you could teach me, please. Maybe, said Gloria Dump. She put her hand on Winn Dixie's head and smiled at me. I knew she was telling me yes. Thank you, I said. I went over and I hugged her. I squeezed her hard. Winn Dixie wagged his tail and tried to get in between the two of us. He couldn't stand being left out of anything. It's going to be the best party ever, I told Gloria. You got to make me one promise, though, Gloria said. All right, I told her. You've got to invite the Dewberry Boys. Dunlap and Stevie? Mm-hmm. Ain't going to be no party unless you invite them. I have to? Yes, said Gloria Dump. You promise me. I promise, I said. I don't like it, but I promise. I started inviting people right away. I asked the preacher first. Daddy, I said. Opal, the preacher said back. Daddy, me and Winn Dixie and Gloria Dump are having a party. Well, said the preacher, that's nice. You have a good time. Daddy, I said, I'm telling you because you're invited. Oh, said the preacher. He rubbed his nose. I see. Can you come? I asked him. He sighed. I don't see why not, he said. Miss Franny Block took to the idea right away. A party, she said, and clapped her hands together. Yes, ma'am, I told her. It'll be fun, kind of like the barbecue at 12 Oaks in Gone with the Wind. Only there's not going to be as many people, and we're going to serve egg salad sandwiches instead of a barbecue. That sounds lovely, said Miss Franny. She pointed at the back of the library and whispered, maybe you should ask Amanda, too. She probably won't want to come, I said. She doesn't like me very much. Ask her. See what she says, Miss Franny whispered. So I walked back to the back of the library, and I asked Amanda Wilkinson with my best manners voice to come to my party. She looked all nervous and stuff. A party? She said. Yes, I said. I sure would like it if you could come. She stared at me with her mouth wide open. Okay, she said after a minute. I mean, yes. Thank you. I would love to. And just like I promised Gloria Dump, I asked the Dewberry boys. I'm not going to a party at a witch's house, Stevie said. Dunlap knocked Stevie with his elbow. We will come, he said. We will not, said Stevie. The witch might cook us up in her big witch's pot. I don't care if you come or not, I told them. I'm just asking you because I promised I would. We'll be there, said Dunlap. He nodded at me and smiled. Sweetie Pie was very excited when I asked her, What's the theme? She asked. Well, there isn't one, I said. You gotta think of a theme, she told me. She sucked on her knuckle and pulled it back out. It ain't a party without a theme. Is this dog coming? She asked. She wrapped her arms around Winn Dixie and squeezed him so hard his eyes almost popped out of his head. Yes, I told her. Good, she said. You could make that dog the theme. It could be a dog party. Good idea. I'll think about it, I told her. The last person I asked to the party was Otis. I told him all about the party and that he was invited, and he said, No, thank you. Why not? I asked. I don't like parties, said Otis. Please, I begged. It won't be a party unless you come. I'll give you a whole free week of sweeping and arranging and dusting if you come to the party. I will. A whole week for free? Otis said, looking up at me. Yes, sir, I told him. But I don't have to talk to people, right? No, sir, I said. You know, just bring your guitar. Maybe you could play us some music. Maybe, said Otis. He looked down at his boots again real quick, trying to hide his smile. Thank you, I told him. Thank you for deciding to come. Chapter 21, next time.